welcome once again to our special coverage. The Axis My India exit poll of the three big states from the northeast that have gone to the polls. Rahul and I are coming with the numbers, the first big numbers of 2023, and possibly, Rahul, I don't think when last has the northeast been covered so extensively in an exit poll. So that
we did it the last time as well.
But not so. I think the tyranny of distance is slowly but surely being overcome.
We are trying to shatter your notion of tyranny of distance.
It still exists. We need to do more, but these are the headlines. The India Today Axis My India exit poll projects a big BJP win in Tripura. NDPP BJP alliance set to form a government in Nagaland. Numbers of Meghalaya coming up.
CBI gets 5-day custody of Manish Sisodia in the Delhi liquor scam. Our protest calls it an emergency-like situation in India.
Prime Minister Yediyurappa Bonhomi in Shivamogga sets speculation. Is this a clear message that Yediyurappa still remains the BJP's tallest figure in poll-bound Karnataka?
One of the accused in the Umesh Pal murder case is killed in an encounter in Prayagraj by the UP police. This days after Yogi Adityanath's Mitti Mein Mila Denge warning.
Saurabh Ganguly says it could take Rishabh Pant as much as 2 years to return to the team. The wicketkeeper batsman still in recovery after a horrific car crash he was involved in December last year. Okay, we've given you the numbers of Tripura, where we are predicting that the BJP is heading for a clear victory. We've given you the numbers of Nagaland, where the ruling NDPP of Nefu Rio, along with the BJP, is again expected to score a victory. The most complicated and difficult state in a way is the next one, a beautiful state of Meghalaya, because the politics of Meghalaya is not as beautiful as the natural beauty. And often, post-poll alliances mean there are no permanent friends or enemies in the politics of the state. As per our survey, we've gone to 59 out of 60 assembly constituencies in the Axis My India poll, a sample size of 6,037. Rahul.
So Meghalaya is one of the most fascinating states politically. It's changed 25 chief ministers in 45 years. Average term of a chief minister is about 2 years. Only 2 chief ministers have completed their full tenure. Conrad Sangma in 2013 and once before that, Meghalaya Democratic Alliance, the NPP-led alliance completing its term. So let's take our viewers through what's likely to happen in Meghalaya. I'll start with the vote share percentages, where the NPP, which contested 57 seats, is likely to pick up about 29% of the vote share. In 2018, they had 21% of the vote share. The Congress's vote share is likely to crash from 29 to 19, so a 10% decline in Congress's vote share. It used to be 35% in 2013, so a secular decline for the Congress's vote share. The Trinamool Congress, which poached Conrad Sangma, is projected to get about 16% of the vote share. This is where the likes of Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, hoping Trinamool will do well, expected to emerge as the number 3 party in the state at 16% vote share. The BJP likely to pick up about 14% of the vote share. The BJP had 10% of the vote share in the 2018 assembly elections. The UDP at 11%. So at 12% last time, 11% this time. Let's now convert this into seats. Now this is where things get really exciting. The NPP is expected to bag between 18 and 24. Remember, last time in 2018, the NPP had 19 seats. The Congress's seat share last time was 21. That's likely to crash to between 6 and 12. The Trinamool didn't open its account last time. This time could be between 5 and 9 seats with about 16% of the vote share. The BJP had 2 seats the last time, 4 to 8. The UDP had 6 seats last time, this time between 8 and 12. Rajdeep, outside of all the food, tell me, how will the government be formed? Where does Conrad Sangma go? Where is the government likely to get formed?
Well, who better to answer that? Not me, but Conrad Sangma himself. He is joining us at this very moment. Conrad Sangma, welcome to the show. It appears at the moment you're party number 1, but you're not in a position to get a majority on your own. Not unexpected, 18 to 24. Remember, no party in Meghalaya has got a majority since 1972, only that first election they did. To answer Rahul's question, how are you going to form a government? How do you see these exit poll findings, Conrad?
Well, we had always expressed to everybody that we will do better than what we did last time. And that's the trend that we are seeing in all the exit polls. I do expect that since these exit polls were conducted till the polling took place, we expect that trend to move even further. So I do expect the numbers to be on the higher side of the exit polls that you're showing. And based on the results that will come out in the second, we will decide on how to move forward based on what will be in the best interest for the people.
Okay, just stay with us. Kaushik Deka, what's Conrad Sangma likely to do?
Sorry?
I believe.
Just 1 second, Conrad. I want to ask Kaushik Deka
I believe
what Conrad is likely to do, then get you to respond.
If he needs the numbers, he will of course approach the smaller parties and of course BJP.
You want to answer that once and for all. Will you go back to, someone sent me a message on Facebook the other day saying, don't trust what Conrad Sangma or Amit Shah are saying. They're actually in secret conversation with each other. This is only Noora Kushti. After the election, they will come back together.
See, in election campaigning, I've always maintained that we go to the people and we campaign all out with all our ideologies and all our stands and whatever we think we need to say to the people. And based on that, if the mandate does not come and we get a fractured mandate, well, the limitations are there for us to figure out how we can provide a proper and stable government. There's nothing, to hide in that. So the point is that ultimately we will have to look at what will be the best option to be able to provide that stable government and the best government in the best interest of the state. So we will look at all the options.
If I were to deconstruct what you're saying, in the best interest of the state, the most stable government is likely to be an NPP-BJP combine. Is that what you're essentially indicating towards, that you have nothing against going back to them again?
So I know I've been very clear. We have nothing against anybody. See, I think this is very important to note that when the 5 years when we worked together, it's not that we started falling apart, that we contested against each other. We made a conscious decision together to fight separately. So it's not that, not that the differences started coming up. So fighting separately was a conscious decision we made, knowing that we are in the government together. We will work, we will complete our term, we'll fight the election, and then we'll see how things go. We'll take a decision when the time comes.
No, but you see, it's not just so simple, Conrad. During the campaign, Amit Shah said this is the most corrupt, inefficient government. I mean, it's bizarre. Look at what the people of Meghalaya will think, that you are the leader of your ally calls you the most corrupt and inefficient government. And now you're telling us, in the best interest, you all could tie up. What does that suggest? That this was actually shadow boxing?
If you look at the statements that were made by Amit Shah during the thing, the rally he had here, it was generalized statement saying that the past governments is not very specifically saying that Conrad Sangma led government. So you can divert it and put it into whatever way you want to put it.
No, come on, Conrad Sangma, you're an honest man. You can't say that to me. He said very clearly that this government of Meghalaya has been the most corrupt and inefficient in the history of the state. You are the chief minister of that government. Today, with these numbers, you could well be turning to the same person who called you corrupt. I know that's all part of politics, but how does that, reflect on elections in Meghalaya?
If you look at the statements made by the government of the central government, the NDA government, they have always talked plus about us in the last 5 years if you look at all the work that has been done. So it's up to you which statement you want to take.
Is this Pradeep Gupta just very smart tactically? Fight separately, that way you get both the Christian and the Hindu vote and then see what happens post the elections?
No, actually, as far as BJP goes, they are clearly riding on their welfare schemes for the state and for the all India for that matter. But it is very clear in our poll, UDP, you are ignoring UDP here, which is likely to get 8 to 12 seats and NPP 18 to 24 seats. Even if you take the lower range of NPP, which is likely to get 18 seats, and higher range of UDP, which is 12, and PDF. Remember, last time also, Conrad had the alliance with UDP and PDF. which won 2 seats, and this time also they are likely to win 2 seats.
So
If
how
this
do you
is-
think the government will get formed?
It's very simple between NPP, UDP, PDF and HS, PDP likely to get 1 seat which they want. So I think if our poll is right, bang on, then I don't think they will need BJP to...
No, but BJP would give stability, it will ensure he gets funds, and therefore it's always good for a Northeast party to have the BJP on its ticket.
That is the given fact. All northeastern states, and for that matter, all the hilly states has to depend on Kendra Sarkar. Without that, hardly any resources.
So you're essentially saying that the NPP can form a government even without the BJP.
I'm saying there is a possibility. That is a possibility, but on
That's
the
right.
other hand...
But all the newsmakers, which is like Conrad Sangma is the only one who's live right now. He says, whatever happens, I am king. Now I have a couple of options. Let's see who falls in line.
I'll tell you there's one option, and maybe Conrad can respond to that, because this is what I heard in Shillong. That for the last 13 years, you've had Garo chief ministers, Mukul Sangma for 8 years, and then Conrad Sangma for 5. We want a Khasi chief minister. The UDP, if it does on the higher end, and Conrad is on the lower end, then you have the possibility of the UDP saying, we want to be kings, not kingmakers. And someone like Metma Lingdo says, it's our turn now. Conrad Sangma, is that a possibility, or do you believe that with these numbers, even at the lower end, you will form a government, possibly with the BJP? That's the more likely option. How do you see it? Is the UDP the X factor?
See, we cannot say anything right now because these are pre-poll, the predictions, exit polls. So therefore, I think giving a statement on the basis of exit poll right now, a political statement would not be appropriate. We will decide when the numbers come out. As I said, we are keeping options open, and we will see how to move forward, keeping in mind, as I said, the overall stability of the government.
So Rajdeep wants a twist in the story. He's suggesting a UDP Congress TMC alliance, where you send post-poll alliance, where essentially UDP can be CM, Congress won't have a problem with that if they
Congress won't go with the TMC. So, it's
but
very
then
unlikely.
But then they won't form the
Unless
government.
the TMC joins the BJP.
I can stick my neck out and predict. It will be the same government, NPP, BJP and some other smaller parties.
right.
And I don't think the CM will be changed.
That's right. So Conrad
same
Sangma,
CM.
what's your song for tonight? As you had, what is the, you had a tough campaign, all the focus has been on you. What's going to be your song? Aaj raat ko jab sogo kaun sa gana hoga? What was the last time you sang a song for me which created a buzz?
I can't remember.
Nahi, tu dena saath mera.
I remember you were the one singing.
Nahi, tu dena saath mera, oh hum nawaz. Wasn't that the song?
Yes.
Who is he saying that to? Himanta Biswa Sarma?
All.
Or is he saying it to Mr. Amit Shah?
What was the song, Conrad? Come on.
To BJP brass.
Mira, I'm enjoying your assessment more than my talk. So
But what's the song? Okay, we'll leave it there, Conrad. We wish you well. Clearly, the very fact you've come on the exit poll
Exudes confidence.
exudes a sense of confidence. I'll tell you this about Conrad Sangma.
I want to tell him
He's
one
a
more
step
thing.
ahead of his father.
How?
He's actually taken his father's legacy forward, because P.S. Sangma found it very difficult in a way to manage and control, Meghalaya politics. He never had a full 5-year term. Conrad's had a 5-year term. If he wins again, he's taking his dad's legacy
No, but
forward.
he wants to expand
I
in the
want to
Northeast.
tell him
The
one more
litmus test
thing.
is to be able to make his party win elsewhere as well.
That's tougher. That's going to take, yes, very quickly.
I want to tell him one thing. Last time, before the results were out, I went to shoot a photograph for him for India Today magazine before he actually won the elections. And I told him that let's do the shoot because he'll get very busy and you are going to be the CM. So I can say the same thing and come over once more for the next 5 years photograph for the magazine.
And this time he's promised to serve me pork curry. Last time he was so tired that I had to, I had to leave hungry. So remember, Conrad, post-election, if you win, pork curry on the table.
You didn't get food from him?
Nah, we had sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches. Can you imagine?
You sing again, Rajdeep, that's all.
I will sing again. This time we'll properly sing.
No
because
music
then you'll have
and no food. Conrad, you didn't take good care of Rajni.
Now, one more thing I want to just comment, which is very surprising. Generally, it doesn't happen like this. When we ask who is the more likely to be the chief minister, 38% of the state says Conrad Sangma, whereas NPP is likely to get only 29% of vote, meaning who is voting for other small parties also like Conrad to be CM. That is very important.
Also, NPP, the 38% voters vote for NPP for the development of the state, and 26% voting based on work, which is highest among all parties.
No, but that's a good thing and a bad thing. If a leader's personal popularity is more than that of his party, then at some level he is not being able to convert his personal popularity into votes for his party. That's what Modi does. So it's a good thing in some ways, and it also shows that his personal popularity is more than that of his party.
Okay, let's therefore, Conrad, thanks very much for joining us. Let's broaden that because we want to get in more voices. It's still an election which could go anywhere. GVL Narasimha Rao, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, National Spokesperson of the BJP is with us. Matthew Anthony is spokesperson of the Congress. Dr. Shashi Panja, Senior Minister and National Spokesperson of the TMC. Patricia Mukim, Editor of the Shillong Times, joining us. Remember, when we looked at those Chief Minister numbers, if we take Conrad Sangma 38%, Vincent Pala of the Congress 3%, any other candidate from Congress 16. So you add them, the Congress doesn't do too badly. Mukul Sangma 16. So actually when I add all of that, it would be 35. What I heard in Meghalaya was if the Congress had fought together, that was the split hadn't taken place between the Congress and TMC, they might have done better. BJP 14%. So BJP is making inroads in Meghalaya. Any candidate from UDP 11%, which is roughly what they're getting in overall terms. Let's get in first reactions from you. GVL Narasimha Rao, let's turn to you because the BJP will have to decide, are you going to tie up with the most corrupt and inefficient government in Meghalaya's history, i.e. Conrad Sangma?
Rajdeep, good evening to you, Rahul and all the viewers and the panelists. Let me give you a comment on the overall exit poll outcome in the three states. Retaining Tripura is going to be a very major boost for the BJP, because this is a state which we snatched from the left parties after nearly 2 decades of them being in power. Today the left and Congress are together in Tripura. They fought elections together, and yet as per your exit poll predictions, we are winning a comfortable majority. A significant majority, nearly a 2/3 majority. I think it's a very positive outcome, and I certainly hope that the real results will be even better than this. Same thing for Nagaland, a state where we have been in power in an alliance, and our alliance is slated to win power again, and with a significant tally of seats again. And coming to Meghalaya also, your own projection shows our numbers are going to be better. They're going to be significantly better compared to the last elections. So the overall, the picture that your exit poll projects today is certainly a very positive outcome for the BJP, and it's certainly a boost. It's certainly a shot in the arm for the leadership of the Prime Minister in the government and Mr. Nadda in the party.
Narasimha Rao, if these numbers hold, it is clearly a boost for the Prime Minister, no doubt, and for the BJP. Just to answer, you didn't answer my question. Will you tie up with the most corrupt and inefficient government of Conrad Sangma, as said by Amit Shah, if these numbers hold?
No, we would certainly want to be leading the government, but looking at the numbers that you project, leading a government appears difficult in Meghalaya, rather impossible. But certainly the BJP would join any government which can provide able administration, ensure development for people of Meghalaya, which the outgoing government has failed. What Amit Shah ji mentioned is that the government had failed to utilize the assistance given by the central government, by the Modi ji's government. There isn't a medical college in Meghalaya, while Prime Minister was willing to give 2 medical colleges. So certainly these are for the BJP.
When I heard this in Shillong, Mr. Narasimha Rao, I hope you know that the Health Minister of Meghalaya is from the BJP. Dr. Alexander Heck, he was a minister for 5 years. You now come at the end of 5 years and say there's no medical college. Blame it to Conrad Sangma. This is beautiful. The BJP ke haath mein, dono haath mein laddu. You want anti-incumbency and you will join the government after the election. This is Chanakya Niti.
No, but and it's worked.
It might work.
No,
That's
you
right.
see,
Okay, let's get reactions from others.
Minister
Matthew
in the
Anthony.
government, Rajdeep, you know, a chief minister.
Let him complete. Go
Okay,
on,
sorry,
Jigal.
please go on.
Go on,
Sorry,
Jigal.
Narasimha Rao.
From a chief minister, things can't happen. Yeah, you see, we see while the health minister may have been from our party, you know, without without support from a chief minister, things don't move easily in any government. But certainly,
No, but then now you
whichever
end up in the
government
same
we
situation.
join
What's the guarantee
in the
it will be
next term,
different this time?
we-
What's the difference? What's the guarantee it will be different next time?
No, you see, no, certainly when we have taken, when a tall leader like Amit Shah ji has taken a position, there will be, whichever government we choose to join, we will ensure development of that state because that's Modi brand politics. We will certainly not join a government if we cannot ensure better administration and better governance. That
Okay.
will certainly
Dr.
be a
Shashi
condition,
Panja?
whichever government we join.
Dr. Shashi Panja, the India Today Access My India poll predicts that TMC would have 16% of the vote share and between 5 and 9 seats if Mukul Sangma hadn't broken away, or if the TMC and Congress had somehow fought together. This could have been a more even elections. Because of the manner in which opposition votes once again have got split, the NPP and the BJP are likely to come back to form the next government in Meghalaya.
Thank you, Rajdeep, and thank you, Rahul. And well, yes, that's the assessment that you have done after the exit poll, the results which have come out in the exit poll. But of course, we look forward to the final results, of course, everybody does. And we will respect the mandate of the people. We have tried that. And you are predicting about, say, 16% vote and about 5 to 9 seats to Trinamool Congress, and you're talking about unity. Well, the point still remains that we have been working in Meghalaya. It may not be for a very long time, but we have been dedicatedly working. We will reach out to, we will continue to reach out to the people of Meghalaya. That also goes without saying.
But you know, the question, Shashi
regarding
Panja,
vis-a-vis
the
unity,
question, Shashi Panja, and I will take it also to Matthew. The question is, there was a large vote of the Congress. When I add the TMC Congress vote, had you been one unit, you might have actually challenged the NPP and the BJP more effectively. The problem is, you broke the Congress 2 years ago and claimed you are the real opposition. The voters not accepting that. Mukul Sangma is strong in the Garo Hills, but it's Mukul Sangma and family. How do you become, you have in a way actually facilitated, some would say, Conrad Sangma to continue in power.
No, that would be a wrong way of
That's
putting
the only
things.
way.
That is not the correct reaction. And Congress should, and also in other states we have seen they're not able to hold on to the MLAs. So we cannot be blamed for that. If they're a party and then they switch over to other parties, we've seen that happening even in other states. Now, if someone has opted to come over to Trinamool Congress, I think Congress should have also given that space for us. I mean, what is wrong? I mean, they could have
You know, Matthew
allowed
Anthony,
us to go ahead.
Matthew
And
Anthony, in what is being said here, is really the story, not just possibly of Meghalaya, but across the country. You cannot bring the opposition together. You claim only you can lead the opposition. Your party breaks. 12 of your 17 MLAs broke away. And today, because of that, the opposition, anti-Conrad Sangma vote is divided. Now, you have to decide at some stage who is your enemy. You will not reach out to Trinamool Congress. You will not reach out to Mamta Banerjee. She will not reach out to you. How is this going to resolve? You've got a split opposition advantage, BJP and its allies.
Yeah, Rajiv and Rahul, thanks for taking me in for this. Let me start with the evaluation of the exit polls. We will respect the people's mandate, but we expect the numbers to be different from the exit polls which you have seen here. The fight in which we fought Meghalaya was, if at all you have been in Shillong and you have been in Garo, you have seen the posters of BJP that it says that uh, tired of corruption, vote for BJP. And now we are seeing the same people who are going to come back to power. I just want to ask the BJP spokesperson here that can you openly say that you will not be offering a hand to join the NPP if at all they form a government, because you have made the entire campaign out of that one. And Kong Patricia is here. The entire Meghalaya is down. 76% of Meghalaya population is landless. 74% of Meghalaya is in a different is suffering from poverty.
Those are all fair point. Patricia, editor of Shillong Times, you want to respond when you hear politicians who've called each other corrupt during the campaign, possibly tying up after the election? What's the message to the people of Meghalaya?
The message is that, politicians are politicians. And here you're using the national yardstick to measure an election in a state where people don't vote on ideology, they don't vote on party lines, they vote for personalities. So it's going to be a completely different picture from what perhaps your exit poll is saying.
So why don't you give us your assessment of the polls relative to our exit poll? Give us, since you've got your nose on the ground, give us your assessment of what you think the post-poll scenario will be like.
Because I don't know where you got your exit poll numbers from. If you go to the villages, it's very difficult to feel the pulse of people there. I've been really touring the villages, and when you ask people, who are you voting for? And you don't even ask which party, because, party doesn't matter. So they'll name A, B, C, and then they'll say, oh, we haven't decided now. We'll see. We will vote for the person who emerges strongest. So how do they measure that strong thing? That the election, I think it all depends on the election pitch, which is why every candidate had huge rallies to the point where the public couldn't use any more public transport. All the public transport facilities were used up by politicians. It's a very different kind of ball game.
So what do you think will happen, Patricia? What do you think will happen? Who do you think will be the next CM? Who will form the government?
I think you all have already said it loud and clear that the NPP and the BJP will tie up yet again, because the BJP is not going to allow the other parties to have a free reign. They will come in. You have Himanta waiting to just get the results out, and then he'll come here and put the numbers together. It's a fair game, because we already know this is going to happen. It's only the idealists sitting in Shillong who want a change. It's very
a bit
difficult.
problematic. GVL Narasimha Rao, your party launches a massive anti-corruption tirade against the sitting chief minister, and then both you and Conrad, when we ask them, say yes, it's possible that there will be a post-poll alliance between the NPP and the BJP. I mean, then what was that whole campaign about?
Rahul, I never said who we will tie up with after the elections. I think it's we'll need to wait for the results. But BJP, whichever party we join to form a government in Meghalaya, will have to ensure honest governance and will have to live up to the expectations of people by delivering development. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a huge trust factor in the entire northeastern region, which is also reflected in your results. So when Amit Shah ji mentioned about the corruption and lack of development, certainly these are preconditions for any government that gets formed with BJP's support or inclusion. It will have to, that will certainly be ensured. BJP will not join the government without ensuring these issues. Who we will tie up with, I think that only final results will tell us, give us the kind of composition of the new assembly.
But Matthew Anthony, you didn't answer my question.
It's a precondition for BJP to join any government.
Matthew Anthony, you didn't answer my question. Are you willing, who is your, the Congress party and the Trinamool Congress have fought a bitter campaign in Meghalaya against each other. So just as the BJP and the NPP were at each other's throats, so were you and the Trinamool Congress. What's the message you're sending out? Is this about kaun banega opposition ka face? Whether it's Vincent Pala or whether it's Mukul Sangma, the two of them fought, can't see eye to eye with each other, and that's been part of your problem.
Rajiv, you should understand that Congress has always been inclusive in terms of forming alliances and leaving with the alliances. At the same time, we have been seeing from the vice president election onwards, TMC compromising the stand on the opposition unity, and they are forming their own ways. So that is something which we need to find a way of solution. But in here also, Goa also, we saw the TMC fighting it alone and closing shops after the election. Now in Meghalaya, they have divided the votes, and we are seeing a repercussion for in Meghalaya also. If at all, the exit polls
Let's
seems
get
to be
Shashi
believing.
Panja to
So
respond
this
to
is
it.
where we
Dr.
are.
Panja,
we are
this
having a
charge
problem.
from the Congress that the TMC is acting like the BJP's B team, helping ensure the BJP comes back to power like you did in Goa.
This is absolutely, he cannot even prove it. Well, I would just say that in Goa, things were going pretty well till Mr. P. Chidambaram came and said Congress would go alone. They went alone. They had some MLAs from the party, candidates who became MLAs, and those MLAs very conveniently switched over to BJP. So first, they should try to keep the flock together, the Bharat Jodo thing. It should become Jodo. The thing amongst themselves. But the point is, Congress should also give space to those who have a chance of faring better than them. No, BJP again at the same time, our role is still there. We are anti-BJP, Congress is also anti-BJP. We are precisely saying that wherever the regional parties or any parties is doing well, has a better chance, allow that person to fight the elections. We are not fighting elections in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, where Congress is doing well. So this is something which Congress is unable to answer. And
I just want to zoom out for a moment.
Continues to say the BJP spokesman is behaving as if they are the most honest government. And look what is happening. The Adani issue is something which they have yet not replied on, and they're looking for honesty. I mean, just look at it. We have to sit and hear these statements.
Okay, in the few minutes that we have left, I want to just zoom out and look at the larger picture that's emerging. If you join the dots, Pradeep Gupta, of these three polls, extrapolated in the context of what happened in Gujarat and Himachal. Gujarat, the BJP won big. Himachal, they lost. Karnataka comes up next. What's the big picture that emerges in your view? Let's start with Pradeep.
Yeah, big picture here is that BJP somehow managing to counter anti-incumbency in different states differently. For example, in Tripura, again they test and try formula of changing the chief minister, and to the large extent countering the anti-incumbency whatsoever is working here as well, apart from Uttarakhand and Gujarat, whereas they didn't change the chief minister in Himachal Pradesh and they faced a loss, which was the case in UP other way round.
Does that mean anything for Mr. Bomai on a day when we had Yadurappa Rajdeep getting a royal princely welcome from the Prime Minister, Bomai standing ashen-faced right there, being treated as a bit of a sideshow?
I think, Rahul, Karnataka is sui generis in the sense that Karnataka is a state where caste plays a much bigger role than most other parts of the country even today. There are a few states in north and the south where caste plays a major role. Yadurappa, like it or not, is still the biggest Lingayat face. And without the Lingayats, the BJP cannot win Karnataka. But I think Pradeep has a point. Not changing chief ministers means that the anti-incumbency then gets focused around the individual. You can arrest a section of a part of the anti-incumbency by changing chief ministers almost midstream. The BJP has shown it now in 3 or 4 states successfully. So there clearly is a pattern.
States like Uttarakhand, they changed the chief minister again and again till they finally managed to put out the young face of Pushkar Dhami.
Absolutely. But for me, Rahul, the larger point, and maybe Kaushik and Patricia want to take this forward, is actually 2 things that are happening. The BJP, in a concentrated way, is using welfare schemes to expand into areas where traditionally they were not strong. None of these 3 states were remotely called BJP states 10 years ago. They're growing there. What is the opposition, on the other hand, doing? Competing for the opposition space. Who is Pradut Dev Burman? A congressman who today has formed his Tripura Mota, making gains. Who is Mukul Sangma? Has been a chief minister for 5 years of the Congress, is expanding because he says, I didn't get my due within the Congress. So the opposition space is getting fragmented. The BJP is intelligently striking alliances with regional parties. The BJP is using centrally government schemes in the states of the Northeast to build itself. And frankly, the opposition organizationally is in no position to compete in terms of resources, in terms of leadership, in terms of election imagination. I mean, frankly, I didn't see the Congress on the ground across these 3 states. Matthew Anthony may deny it, but when I met Vincent Pala of the Congress, I said, where is the Congress? I don't see our posters. No, we don't rely on event management. We do door-to-door campaigning. Now, I can see the fact that the Congress is giving a lot of tickets to young people under 45. Good on them, lots of new faces. But you've got to fight. Now, it's not easy in the absence of resources, but intelligent campaigning is required. This Congress left alliance, in my view, I don't think was ever going to work from day one. Unnatural alliance. But I think that's the message.
Kaushik, your big takeaways?
And one quick last point before. I think Prime Minister Modi, and I'm saying this because it will then deserves a lot of credit for his Northeast outreach. I've been traveling over the years to the region. I said this in a video blog with Kaushik, which then went viral. I think one of the achievements of Prime Minister Modi is that he has recognized that the Northeast is an area of growth. Let's focus on it. I haven't seen that kind of focus from a national leader in a very long time, if at all.
No, and it's showing up in better road infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Airways infrastructure, where it's just much easier to get to Kaushik's part of the country.
Okay, that went viral, but you were thinking that it will put you in trouble, that effort. I would not like to see BJP politics from Northeastern point of view, because in Northeast, BJP is still not an organic party. Of course, Prime Minister Modi's focus, all these beneficiary schemes have helped BJP take the space of Congress, which was the national party. But in Northeast, the BJP itself is a rebranded version of Congress, because if you see, they still have 4 CMs, and all 4 are from Congress somehow. And the emergence of regional parties, always the opposition used to be regional parties in Congress when in Northeast, when Congress dominated the center space in Northeast. That has been taken away by BJP. But BJP's success in Northeast is still restricted to Hindu dominated states. And in the states where Christians or other communities are dominant, BJP is taking help of regional parties. And when I was traveling from Guwahati to Delhi, I met a union minister in the flight, and he was telling me this, that we are not afraid of Congress, we can handle Congress. The BJP's challenge, they say that whether it's in Northeast or in any other parts of the country, are from the regional parties, strong regional parties. That's where they stumble. We saw that in West Bengal. In the Northeast also, wherever, like in Meghalaya also, there is NPP. The BJP cannot form the government because the NPP is the main force. In Nagaland, NDPP is the main force. BJP is the supporting player.
But they're willing to make those adjustments.
Let me finish. Yes, they are willing to make the adjustment for the sake of forming government and then make slowly inroads. Look at Congress. After its 21 MLAs in Meghalaya, they left. They had won the highest, and then they became 0. Even after that, our exit poll says that they will get 6 to 12 seats. Whereas TMC, which is like the topmost leader of Congress, went to TMC, and still it's lagging behind. So that means Congress still has a hold. And I saw this number, very interesting number. When it talks about voting for development of the state, 40% voters said they would like to vote for Congress in Meghalaya. So that means Congress still has some value in the Northeast, only that they don't have leaders and their organizational will and power to get that traction, which BJP is very successfully doing.
Patricia, you want to give us the big picture that you see coming from the Northeast, not just Meghalaya? Is it that the BJP is now emerging as a party, a central magnet almost across the Northeast, sometimes tying up with regional parties, but it's in power in Assam, it could be in power in Tripura again, Nagaland in alliance in Meghalaya, that's in Manipur in power. So it's a state, it is now the primary magnet in a way in the Northeast.
See, Rajdeep, I think a lot of these northeastern states, or rather the people of this region, are looking at Assam as the example of development, because you see a lot of infrastructure coming up there. And you look at Nagaland and you don't see that happening. You see roads that are decrepit. Even in Meghalaya, rural Meghalaya is still, 50 years behind time. And we have done this very, very grounded report in Garo Hills, where people have not had electricity since independence. And their homes were fitted with smart meters. It even generated bills. Can you imagine that kind of a thing happening in this day and age? Now, it's fine for the BJP to say that they are going to focus on Vikas. That has been said again and again. But where is the monitoring of the projects? The Jal Jeevan mission, it's fine on paper, but it's not there on the ground. And I wish people would go more into rural Meghalaya, more into rural Nagaland, especially Eastern Nagaland, to find out that people are still living in the dark ages. Matthew earlier had pointed out to the 32.
No, you're right. In fact, I keep saying these are poor states with rich netas. They monopolize all the resources of your state.
Absolutely.
There is huge amounts of corruption.
Also, I want to say one thing, Rajdeep. Yes. What is happening? The Congress leaving, Congress MLAs leaving the party in bulk or en bloc. It's all political egotism. I think that political egotism is bigger than their claim to serve the people. Because if that was not there, those MLAs would still have remained in the Congress. And as you said, the Congress does or still has a sizable following all over. They haven't lost that following yet.
And they've lost a large part of that following. The following
Rahul,
is now a shadow of what it was earlier. But we'll slip into a break. When we come back in the last part of the broadcast, we'll all ask all our guests about the big picture that emerges from the Northeast and how they are reading these results when taken in tandem. So that last part of our analysis is coming up on the other side of a very quick break. Stay with us.
India Today Conclave 2023, March 17th and 18th, New Delhi. Listen to Janvi Kapoor, Malaika Arora, Anita Sengupta, Abha Adams, Hajar Chena Ramani, Dr. Ruha Shadab. The India Moment.
Southern cinema is known for its flavors, be it over-the-top action sequences, light-hearted comedy, or a complete masala entertainer.
పానం కన్నా విలువైన నీ సోపతి నా సొంతం అన్నా గర్వంతో ఈ మనలో కలిసిపోతేనే
The fact that it has such a wide reach irrespective of the language barrier explains the craze and power of these regional films. While we have Kannada films, Telugu films and Malayalam movies that have had a dream run lately and continue to do so, let's take a look at the A-listers and their most anticipated Tamil movies of 2023 as the industry is basking in the glory of some of the biggest hits. Jailer. Jailer will be Rajnikant's first film since the release of Annate in 2021. Directed by Nelson Dilip Kumar, the movie has a stellar cast comprising of Jackie Shroff, Shivaraj Kumar, Mohan Lal and Tamanna among others. The movie is scheduled to roll out in cinemas on April 14th. Ponniyin Selvan 2. Filmmaker Mani Ratnam's dream project Ponniyin Selvan Part 1 fetched critical acclaim and was a commercial success. The first part of this magnum opus ended on a cliffhanger, and now all eyes are on the second part, which will hit theatres on April 28. The second part will pick up from where it ended in PS1 and will have answers to key questions about the Chola dynasty. Based on the novel by Kalki Krishnamurthy, the historical drama features Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Chyan Vikram, Trisha, Jayam Ravi and Karthi in lead roles.
There are some big names in the art world, like the ones from the progressive modern masters like Raza, Souza, Gaitonde, Hussain, etc. Some collect them as assets, some as vanity, some for the snob value, some for the emotional appeal. They appreciate well and fetch returns. Same with select contemporary artworks. Then there's a whole pool of emerging contemporary artists who cannot just be viewed from the lens of valuations. One such artist at the India Art Fair happened to be Vikrant Pisse. His art reiterates his commitment to the revolutionary spirit of Babasaheb Ambedkar. His work focuses on making powerful social commentary. The fabric of revolutionary times exuded. From his work, the call to action to uphold constitutional rights, to a social commentary on casteism with the Dalits in India, to depicting the landmark Rohit Vermila suicide case, the artist is working on a series on the legacy of the Dalit Panther movement in India. His iconography is informed and deliberate in radicality. A force of change to reckon with, Bhise's work stands out at the India Art Fair. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
Welcome back. Just a little bit more on the India Today Axis My India exit poll. 3 states, Tripura we are predicting BJP, Meghalaya, Conrad Sangma holding all the cards with him, and Nagaland, the NDPP BJP alliance. Let's get quick reactions because one of the faces of the CPIM Congress combined, Jitendra Chaudhary, Secretary CPIM Tripura, who hopes to be CM if that wins. Mr. Chaudhary joining us. Mr. Chaudhary, not looking so good as per the exit polls. How do you respond?
No, actually, it will prove wrong because I don't know how the India Today conducted the exit poll. Here, the ground situation is completely different. And the mode of the people after the polling, that is 16th of February, totally the camp, the ruling camp, it is demoralized. In other hand, where the secular and left democratic forces, they have joined hand to restore the democracy. They are found to be jubilant from the day of the polling. So what I would like to say, on 2nd of March, all this prediction, who has given the, what will say, edge to the ruling BJP, that will found to be wrong.
Okay. Mahima Singh, you are also hoping that the exit polls are wrong, I presume.
I would say, Rajdeep ji, that exit polls are bound to meet their fate, and so are the political parties. But I think what should prevail is the public mandate. The adult franchise must be respected, but it has been, I would say, blatantly, brazenly insulted in the state of Nagaland today. Tripura also saw a lot of violence. Meghalaya, may have been fairly, as compared to the other 2 states, peaceful. Whatever the outcome be, I believe that we just need to respect the electoral process, and we have been raising complaints to the Election Commission. What comes out on the 2nd of March will be the public mandate, and we have fought an election vehemently on the issues. We have raised a voice against the BJPs and NDPPs and NPPs and all the other, the parties that were ruling on their failures. In Tripura, they had promised things like goodies like smartphones, free education. I have a list of 11 unfulfilled promises. If you allow, I'll go on and read that out.
Ma'am, we've run out. I wish you had come earlier. We will join you again on the 2nd. You can come and vent at the unfulfilled promises of the BJP.
But they're inconsequential now. That's during campaign. Now you focus on the results. You focus on where those numbers are coming from, where the votes are moving and why, and then you join the dots to form the big picture, which is what Rajdeep, me, Kaushik, Pradeep Gupta and all will do on the 2nd of March. That's counting day. So lots of excitement there. The BJP seems to have found some way of getting into the party in each of the states, whether it's through the front door, the back door, even the window. They've got some seat on the political high table in all those states.
Absolutely. And therefore, I think the 2nd of March, in a sense, will perhaps tell us what lies ahead of this big election.